Friends, welcome back to my channel Smart Engineer. My name is Pooja Subhashrao Deshmukh from International Center of Excellence in Engineering and Management College, Aurangabad. In this session, we are going to discuss on the topic that is inverters and AC based drives. In that, we will see single phase series and parallel inverters, their analysis and design. Then single phase bridge inverter, 3-phase inverters, 120 degree mode and 180 degree mode operation and its design. Also we see voltage control techniques, current source inverter drives, voltage source inverter drives, etc. Before starting the video, we will see the basic concepts of inverter, as what is exactly inverter do and how many types of these. A device that converts DC power into AC power at a desired output voltage and frequency. This is called inverter. Some industrial applications of the inverters are adjustable speed, AC drives, induction, heating, standby aircraft, power supplies, UPS that is uninterruptible power supplies for computers, HVDC transmission lines, etc. According to that, there are classification of inverters. According to the method of commutation, there are two types. First one is the line commutated inverter and second one is the force commutated inverter. According to the method of connection, there are three types. First one is the series inverter, second one is the parallel inverter and third one is the bridge type inverter. Also, according to the nature of source, there are two types: voltage source inverter and current source inverter. We will see one by one. Now, first one is the series inverter. So, the series inverters in which commutating components are permanently connected in series with the load. This is called series inverter. The circuit formed must be underdamped as the current attains zero value due to the nature of the series circuit. Series inverters are also classified as self-commutated and load-commutated inverters. Now, the circuit diagram for basic series inverter is as shown in figure, which is consist of load resistance, that is RL, in series with commutating components L and C. The values of L and C are so chosen that series RLC circuit forms an underdamped circuit. Two thyristors, that is SCR1 and SCR2, are turned on appropriately so that output voltage of desired frequency can be obtained. When SCR1 is turned on with SCR2, current I starts building up in the RLC circuit. As the circuit is underdamped, we know that the load current after reaching some peak value decays to 0. As the load current tends to reverse, the SCR1 is turned off. After some instant, some minimum time, that is TQ minimum, must elapse for T1, that is SCR1, to regain its forward blocking capability. This minimum time is given by TQ minimum is equals to pi divided by omega minus pi divided by omega r is equal to 1 divided by 2 in bracket 1 divided by f minus 1 divided by fr bracket closed, where omega is the output frequency in radian per second and omega r is the circuit ringing frequency in radian per second. There are some drawbacks of this series inverter. The basic series inverter as shown in figure, it is very simple, but it however suffers from the drawbacks. First one is the for load power. The load current is taken from the supply during the positive half cycle only. This has the effect of increasing the peak current rating of the DC source. Next one is the Since the source current flows during the positive half cycle only, its harmonic content is much pronounced. The maximum operating frequency of the inverter is limited because this frequency omega has to be less than the circuit ringing frequency. For output frequency much lower than the circuit ringing frequency, the load voltage waveform gets distorted considerably due to the increased duration of the dead zone. In this inverter, commutating components have to carry the load current continuously. Therefore, the high rating of this component is necessary. Now, next one is the modified series inverter. Figure shows that the modified series inverter in which the drawback of limited operating frequency is overcome. It consists of two thyristors, that is T1 and T2, DC voltage source, that is EDC, and load R, capacitor C, and mid-tapped inductor. Actually, inductor is one but has a center tapping so that inductance of both halves are equal, that is L1 is equals to L2. Let T1 be switched on so that the load current I builds up through R and then decreases. When current I is nearing to zero value, Vc across C is less than the Vc plus VCO as shown in figure, and at this instant turn on SCR T2. In basic series inverter, T2 is turned on before current in T1 vanishes. There would be a dead short circuit of source voltage Vs. This will eventually damage the inverter. However, in modified series inverter, there is no danger of any short circuit. This important feature permits the modified series inverter to operate at frequency higher than the circuit ringing frequency. Now, next one is the single phase parallel inverter. The basic inverter circuit for single phase parallel inverter utilizing capacitor for its commutation shown in the figure, which is consist of two thyristors T1 and T2, an inductor L, an output transformer, and a commutating capacitor C. The transformer turns ratio from each primary half to secondary winding is assumed unity. The output voltage and current are V0 and I0 respectively. The function of L is to take the source current constant at I0. Positive directions for voltages and currents are marked in the figure. During the working of this inverter, capacitor C comes in parallel with the load via the transformer. That is why it is called as parallel inverter. The operation of this inverter can be explained in some well-defined modes as under. Now, there are three modes. First one is the mode 1. In this mode, thyristor T1 is conducting and current flows in the upper half of the primary winding. Thyristor T2 is off. This current establishes magnetic flux that links both the halves of primary winding. As a result, an EMF Vs is induced across upper as well as lower half of the primary winding. In mode 2, at time t is equals to 0, thyristor T2 is turned on by applying a triggering pulse to its gate. At this time t is equals to 0, capacitor voltage is 2 Vs appears as a reverse bias across T1. It is therefore turned off. A current I0 begins to flow through T2. Lower half of primary winding Vs and L as shown in figure. And last one is the mode 3. When capacitor has charged to -2 Vs with upper plate negative and lower plate positive, SCRT1 may be turned on at any time. In this figure, T1 is triggered at T is equals to T divided by 2. Capacitor voltage is 2 Vs applies to reverse bias across T2. It is therefore turned off. After T2 is off, capacitor start discharging as shown in figure. The waveforms for Vc, Vt1, V0, etc. are shown in the figure. At T is equals to 0 positive, when T2 is turned on, Vt1 is equals to negative 2 Vs and Ic is equals to minus I0 and It1 is equals to 0 and It2 is equals to I0 as shown. As the turns ratio from whole primary to secondary winding is 2. The load voltage has half the amplitude of capacitor voltage. However, the load voltage has the same waveforms as the capacitor voltage. Next one is the voltage source inverters. Voltage source inverters has a constant voltage at its input terminal. Its output voltage does not depend on the load and its output current depends on the type of load. In current source inverters has a constant current at its input terminal and its output current does not depend on the load. Also, its output voltage depends on the type of load. Now, voltage source inverters. There are two main types, that is single phase inverter and three phase inverters. In single phase, there are two subtypes. First one is the half bridge inverter and second one is the full bridge inverter. And in three phase, there are two modes, 180 degree mode and 120 degree mode. Now we will see one by one. First one is the single phase half bridge inverter. In this section, operating principle of single phase voltage source inverters is discussed. Single phase bridge inverters are of two types, single phase half bridge and single phase full bridge. The basic principle of operation of these two types are presented here. Power circuit diagram of the two configurations of single phase bridge inverter is shown in the figure. For half bridge inverter, the circuitry for turning on or turning off the thyristor is not shown for the simplicity. The gating signals of the thyristors and the resulting output voltage waveforms are shown here. Now, the single phase half bridge inverter consists of two SCRs, two diodes and 3 wire supply. That for 0 is greater than T is greater than or equal to T divided by 2. Thyristor T1 conducts and the load is subjected to a voltage, that is Vs divided by 2. Due to the upper voltage source Vs divided by 2 at T is equals to T divided by 2, thyristor T1 is commutated and T2 is gated on. During the period T divided by 2 is greater than T is greater than or equals to T, thyristor T2 conducts and the load is subjected to a voltage. Due to the lower voltage source, it is seen from the figure of waveforms that load voltages is an alternating voltage waveform of amplitude, that is Vs divided by 2 and frequency is 1 divided by T Hertz. Frequency of the inverter output voltage can be changed by controlling T. The main drawback of this inverter that is require 3-wire DC supply. This difficulty can however be overcome the use of full bridge inverter. So next one is the single phase full bridge inverter. For full bridge inverter, which is consist of 4 SCRs and 4 diodes. In this inverter, number of thyristors and diodes is twice of that in a half bridge. This however does not go against full inverter because the amplitude of the output voltage is doubled, whereas the output voltage is 4 times in this inverter as compared to the corresponding values in the half bridge inverter. This is evident from the figure. For full bridge inverter, when T1, T2 conduct, load voltage is Vs, and when T3 and T4 conduct, load voltage is negative Vs. As shown in the figure, frequency of the output voltage can be controlled by varying the periodic time T. Thyristor T1 and T4, T3 and T2 are also in series across the source. During inverter operation, it should be ensured that 2 SCRs in the same branch such as T1, T2 do not conduct simultaneously. This would be lead to a direct short circuit of the source. And 4 SCRs would suffice because load current I0 and load voltage V0 would always be in phase with each other. This however is not the case when the load is other than resistive. For such type of loads, current I0 will not be in phase with voltage V0, and diodes connected in anti-parallel with thyristors will allow the current to flow when the main thyristors are turned off. As the energy is fed back to the DC source when these diodes conduct, these are called feedback diodes. In this, D1, D2, D3 and D4 are feedback diodes. These are the waveforms of single phase full bridge inverter of Ig1, Ig2, Ig3, Ig4 and voltage. Next one is the 3-phase voltage source inverters in 180 degree mode. In this phase inverter, each SCR conducts for 180 degree of a cycle. Thyristor pair in each arm, that is T1, T4, T3, T6 and T5, T2 are turned on with a time interval of 180 degree. It means that T1 conducts for 180 degree and T4 for next 180 degree of a cycle. Thyristors in the upper group, that is T1, T3, T5 conduct at an interval of 120 degree, which implies that the T1 is fired at omega t is equals to 0 degree. Then T3 must be fired at omega t is equals to 120 degree and T5 at omega t is equals to 240 degree. Same is true for lower group of SCRs. On the basis of this firing scheme, a table is prepared. In this table, first row shows that T1 from upper group conducts for 180 degree, T4 for the next 180 degree and then again T1 for 180 degree and so on. In the second row, T3 from the upper group is shown to start conducting 120 degree. After T1 starts conducting, after T3 conduction for 180 degree, T6 conducts for the next 180 degree and again T3 for the next 180 degree and so on. Further, in the third row, T5 from the upper group starts conducting 120 degree. After T3 or 240 degree, after T1. After T5 conduction for 180 degree, T2, the 6 SCR is identified. This table shows that T5, T6, T1 should be gated for step 1, T6, T1, T2 for step 2 and T1, T2, T3 for step 3 and T2, T3, T4 for step 4 and so on. Thus, the sequence of firing of thyristors is T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6 and T1, T2. It is seen from the table. That is, every step of 60 degree duration, only 3 SCRs are conducting from upper group and 2 from lower group, and 2 from the upper group and 2 from the lower group, and so on. Next one is the 3-phase voltage source inverter in 120 degree mode. The power circuit for the diagram of this inverter is as shown in the figure. For the 120 degree mode, each thyristor conducts for 120 degree of a cycle. Like 180 degree mode, 120 degree mode inverter also requires 6 steps, each of 60 degree duration, for completing one cycle of the output AC voltage. For this inverter, table giving the sequence of firing the 6 thyristors is prepared as shown in the top of the figure. In this table, first row shows that T1 conducts for 120 degree and for the next 60 degree neither T1 nor T4 conducts. Now T4 is turned on at omega t is equals to 180 degree and it further conducts for 120 degree, that is from omega t is equals to 180 degree to omega t is equals to 300. This means that 60 degree interval from omega t is equals to 120 degree to 180 degree, series connected SCRs, that is T1 and T4, do not conduct. At omega t is equals to 300 degree, T4 is turned off, then 60 degree interval elapses before T1 is turned on again at omega t is equals to 360 degree. In the second row, T3 is turned on at omega t is equals to 120 degree as in 180 degree mode interval. Now T3 conducts for 120 degree, then 60 degree interval elapses during which neither T3 nor T6 conduct. At omega t is equals to 300 degree, T6 is turned on. It conducts for 120 degree and then 60 degree. Interval elapses after which T3 is turned on again. In the third row is also completed similarly. This table shows that T6, T1 should be gated for step 1, T1, T2 for step 2, T2, T3 for step 3 and so on. During each step, only 2 thyristors conduct for this inverter, one from the upper group and one from the lower group. But in 180 degree mode inverter, 3 thyristors conduct in each step. These are the waveforms for line voltages, that is VRY, VYB and VBR. VRY is equals to VA0 minus VB0. For the VYB, that is VB0 minus VC0. For VBR is equals to VC0 minus VA0. And they are also plotted in the figure. It is seen from phase voltages have one positive pulse and one negative pulse of each 120 degree duration. For one cycle of output alternating voltage, the line voltages, however, have 6 steps per cycle of the output alternating voltage. Thank you.